and then she goes to jail. I don't know what jail in Bridgerton is like. If they have jail, they don't even have racism there, so I don't know what is going on. What's up, YouTube? It's HaviSpeaks. Thank you for coming to my presentation today. I have a treat for you. I know that the new Bridgerton season is coming out. At the time of the video, the second part hasn't come out yet. But I've just been feeling FOMO because I've tried to watch the Bridgerton seasons show, but every time I'm like, this isn't clicking for me. I don't know what it is, but like, I feel left out, and I just want to be able to be a part of the fun. So this time, instead of watching how many hours of that, I decided to make a slide presentation so I can show you what I think is happening in the show. I think I've watched maybe like the first 20 minutes of the first episode like 4 years ago. But haven't been on that since, so we're gonna try to figure this out together, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what, if any of the things I talk about are accurate and are part of the actual canon. Let me know. Okay. Obviously, you're gonna see my amazing graphic design skills in this. The first slide says what I think is happening in Bridgerton by HaviSpeaks. Let's do it. Okay, I wanted to start with things I do know first. Here's a couple. I know there's colorblind casting. I know there's like classical music that's like remixes of pop music. So I said Taylor Swift classical music. I know there's a black guy and a white woman couple in the first season. I know it's a 2020 original, came out during the pandemic. It's a period piece, and Lady Whistletone. Now, I know for a fact her name is not Lady Whistletone, but I was listening to Mariah Carey while I was making this, and I know it starts with a W. I know her name starts with a W, but I was like, this got to be close enough. You know what I'm saying? I know that Shonda Rhimes is a part of making this, and I know there's a big family. Like, the Bridgerton family is the focus of this story. Duh. You know, Shonda Rhimes, shout out to Shonda Rhimes because she has made so much TV that I have consumed, but for some reason, this isn't one of them. Okay, I realized while starting to make this that I didn't know any of the characters' names, and I was like, how am I supposed to do this without knowing any of the names? So I decided to make my own. Okay, I feel like I remember the main girl's name, this one, but I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I called her Lisa Bridgerton. Is her name Lisa in real life? Who knows? We're gonna go through her character traits. But before we do that, I'm gonna tell you what I think the main guy's name is. His name to me is Jarius Shepherd. Now, I know damn well that's not his fucking name. Ooh, okay. But I was like, what is the most black and regal name I can think of? Have you met a Jarius? No, because you're not living in the 1800s. Facts about Lisa's character. She's the oldest Bridgerton, I think, because she's the first season. Why else would she be the first one? She's the coolest bachelorette. I think in this season, they're trying to find her a man, right? So she's like the hottest thing in the town. And here comes my favorite part. I know they do dances because balls pause, and that's when they start doing the Taylor Swift music. Okay, what I meant by this was that I know like they have these like parties and stuff, and they be dancing in them, and that's when the Taylor Swift class music comes in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's like a thing throughout the whole season, but I know they be doing that at the parties. I know she has more siblings because it's a multi-season series, but she needs to find a rich man because back then that was a huge part of marriage, and that it wasn't about love but the union of two people of their status to get richer. I mean, take a history class. Next one. Jarius. All I have for this is Jarius Shepherd. He's black, and I know y'all know what I mean. And I know y'all know what I mean by that because I'm saying earlier there was like the whole colorblind casting. I feel like it was a thing that he was black and she was white. You know what I'm saying? Not to be giving Get Out, but I'm just saying like I know that like, you know, We was not acting like this in the 1800s. That's not what we were up to. So, but I know that's a big part of his character. I'm gonna say that. Okay, plot. Okay, so I had envisioned the first couple parts of this show to be like Daphne getting ready, right? Like if you ever watch Legally Blonde, she has her hair getting combed, her nails getting painted, all that. But I'm assuming it's 1800s type stuff, so she's gonna be getting her corset pulled or whatever, whatever, and she's gonna get her little bayang straight. I don't know. And then she has to get ready to see Queen Charlotte. I don't really know why though, but I vaguely remember this in the first 20 minutes of the first episode. Queen Shar. Now she's my favorite. I know her name because of the Netflix show name. Listen, I've scrolled on Netflix. That's how I know about this show, and I know her name is Queen Charlotte because she's a baddie. Lisa shows up to see the Queen, and Queen Char's best friend is there because we know she rolls deep. This is her best friend. I say the woman next to her with the question mark eyebrows. Her name was Wilma Wellington. Come on, Wilma. Okay. I'm imagining the Queen Shar is like a mob boss of sorts because she's always sitting on her throne and shit. What I mean by this is like I feel like I've seen photos where she's like posted up like this, chilling, and I feel like she has this aura, this like power to her. Like look at how big her hair is. Come on now. And I'm imagining Queen Shar as like a mob boss of sorts because she's always sitting on her throne. Okay, the mob boss part, because she's posted up on her throne, I'm thinking it's like Godfather type beat. Like I'm not gonna do the impression, but you know what I'm talking about. You came to see me on the day of my daughter's wedding. She has that vibe, you know. Like she be bossing everybody around, and she's known for her big balls. Pause. And what I mean by that is like, I know she throws parties, right? And that's where they be at with the Taylor Swift music, getting down, basically. Queen Shar tells Lisa that I'm going to throw you this party and so that you can get married so that my parties can look good. I feel like she's a businesswoman, Queen Charlotte, and I feel like she's like an event planner or something. And she really likes throwing these paws so that she can like get some type of recognition, and like she's a queen but she got a side business because she's multifaceted, you know what I'm saying? And then she's like, get the fuck out my face. Okay, Lisa, Bridgerton, and fam. Okay, Lisa's mom is like, you're gonna go to a ball and you're gonna get a rich man so the whole fam can be lit and set example for your siblings. What she means by this is that, again, she's a woman of status. They can't be having no brokies around in the family. They're supposed to be looking good. The Bridgerton family is like an actual like name in the town, I'm assuming. So boom, they're at the ball now and it's a masquerade party, I'm pretty sure. See, I wrote this down, but then I looked at the season 5 cover and I said, I don't think this was a masquerade ball. I think it was just a season 5 thing. Oh, season 4. Damn. I'm about to write season 5, sign off. Yeah, so they're at a ball. I know that. They're at a party. Lisa meets Jairus and they have a great night together. They're flirting. There's a little meet cute. I didn't write a meet cute in this, but I'm sure there is a good meet cute. You know what I'm saying? But here comes the plot of the story, for real, for real. It's a forbidden romance trope. Now, that's one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? A little bit Romeo and Julius. Okay. No, but Romeo and Juliet, star-crossed lovers type beat. You know what I'm saying? Unless that's a different trope. I don't know. But here comes the forbidden love trope because she's supposed to be with the rich man, but it turns out that Jairus is broke. Dun, dun, dun. How is he broke? What happened, bro? I'm thinking he's in debt. You know what I'm saying? I think he has like gambling addiction or something. He has a past. Maybe it's like Chainsaw Man where he's inheriting his father's debt. You know what I'm saying? But he's broke. Next. They have to come up with a plan so that they can get him rich before they can get engaged so that nobody will find out his secret. So they're hitting a bit of a heist situation, and I'm really excited about it. I feel like I haven't watched that many heist movies, but I remember watching Catch That Kid with Kristen Stewart, and that changed my life. So I'm thinking we can go like this level. Okay, this is how they became rich. They decided to work for Queen Shar because she's a mobster, as we know. She got a business. You know what I'm saying? She has shit to do, and she don't ever want somebody to ever get in the way. I'm thinking Queen Shar is like, I got a plan for you guys, but y'all are working for me for real, for real. And they throw a ball to distract from a heist so that they can cover it because she wants to steal from Wilma because they have a competing event planning business. Maybe they're old business partners, but Shar has been taking all the credit and Wilma hasn't had enough. What I mean by this is I feel like Queen Shar and Wilma have a backstory. I'm thinking there's flashbacks type stuff, right? And I'm like, I think they started getting their status because they were really like throwing events for people and making it popping in town. I'm thinking Bridgerton land wasn't even about it like that until Queen Shar pulled up and she was like, I'm gonna make this the most beautiful town ever with my balls. Pause. So I'm thinking way back in the day, they were like, all right, we're going to do a business together. We're going to make shit happen. And Wilma was a main part of that. But then Queen Shar started taking all the credit and Wilma became a sidekick and she didn't like that. So now she's going off, making her own business, right? Walk with me. And now Charlotte is mad because her best friend is stepping out on her. She's upset. So she's like, I'm going to take that credit back because I'm the queen, right? So that's the plot for them. Episode 7. Now, I don't even know how many episodes come out every season. I'm assuming 10. Episode 7 is a random one, but I'm assuming this is when the shit starts going bad, you know? Okay, the night of the heist, they're about to do it, but then they get into a huge fight because Jarius doesn't want Lisa to get in trouble, but then she says she loves him for the first time. So I'm thinking, right, even though they've been wanting to talk about being with each other and stuff, she hasn't been real with her feelings the way that he has. He's like a simp for her. He loves her so much. He's trying to get rich because of her. But she's been like, yeah, that's my man or whatever. But I'm not even trying to show him my feelings for real. Because she's reserved. You know what I'm saying? Lisa, she's like, man, fuck you. I'm going to do it anyway because I care about us. So Lisa goes and does it anyway. But she gets caught. And then she goes to jail. I don't know what jail in Bridgerton is like. If they have jail. They don't even have racism there, so I don't know what is going on. But Lisa's mom bails her out and they're fighting. Lisa tells her mom everything and her mom is like, yeah, he's broke, but he makes you happy. She's a realist. She's like, I know that I said that you need a rich man, but to be honest, I don't even like that for real. I just love you and I love that you're happy. And then that's the major conflict that is resolved by then. All that's next that they have to make up. Next slide. This is the ending, right? In my mind, Jarius is leaving whatever town they're in because of the pain. Again, I don't know what Bridgerton land is, what town they're in, if it's a real town or not, but he's on his carriage to go. He putting the horses together, right? He's packing up his little carriage. And then I'm thinking it's the type of like, she has to get him from the airport type stuff. I'm chasing after you because it's a romance. I'm thinking about tropes. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she's trying to find a way. She's trying to find him. She's looking through the crowd. You know what I'm saying? And then she finds him. They have another moment where don't talk about my misspelling, where she's confessing her love and letting him in. Right? Another heartfelt, cathartic moment for the cast because this has been a conflict she's had internally this whole season. Right? So they kiss after they profess after they tell each other that they love each other. So then they kiss and there's like an overhead shot. You know what I'm saying? The kiss gets bird's eye view and then they just go through the Bridgerton land and then look at all the happy people and the tulips. I'm thinking there's flowers, big field of flowers. Because I feel like that's a place in Europe. Isn't there like a place? I feel like in the Spider-Man No Way Home or Far From Home, there's like a little tulip field. You know what I'm saying? But they get married, right? Wilma and Shar, like, they make up in the end at the wedding. And they're like, man, fuck all the noise. Like, I just feel like we're best friends. And we shouldn't have gotten, like, capitalism in the middle of our friendship. Like, yes, we're both businesswomen, but we're friendship women, too. We can have it all. You know what I'm saying? And then everyone's made up, da-da-da. And then at the end, there's a weird scene that sets up the next season. I'm assuming they already knew they were gonna get a second season. I'm assuming Shonda's like, yeah, we ate the fuck down, so now we're gonna have a next season. So I'm just gonna tease it just so people want some more. They want a little bit of nibble afterwards. All right, next season, season 2. All right, I will not be doing this season just because I remember how feral people were over this season. Like that was like what, 2021, 2022. I think I tried to watch like an episode or two. I think I actually finished the first episode, but I don't remember anything from that because that was 4 years ago, right? But I know like the plot, like they're enemies to lovers type thing. Their sister is supposed to be her younger sister. They're supposed to get married to Mr. The Prince from Wicked. I don't really know his name, but I know the plot of this one, right? Enemies to lovers, blah blah blah. They're both fine, whatever. The main woman, if there's not a man treating you right, and I'll just say that. Okay, but yeah, I already know what happens. I already know they end up together. So we'll be skipping this season. Okay, season 3. Now, I've heard mixed reviews on this season, and I'm really excited to get into it because I feel like. What do I feel like? I feel like this has a lot of opportunity because I know that she's Lady Whistletone. And I feel like, I don't know if they reveal that like in the beginning of the series or the beginning of this season. I don't know when y'all find out. Because I didn't find out. I don't know when that happens in the actual like canon. But I know that I'm going to talk about it. So first, Miss Thing, Georgina Wellens, aka Ginger. I named her Ginger because what? Her hair is ginger. So boom. All right. So she's Lady Whistletone, right? And I know she isn't a Bridgerton. She wants to marry into the family. I think this guy is a Bridgerton. But because I'm like, why would she be Lady Whistletone and be a Bridgerton at the same time? Anyway, so I know Lady Whistletone has been a part of the series, the whole show, but she's a regular person with regular bills. All right. Now she's a brokey. We're talking about classism a lot in this because why not? I'm thinking she's broke like Spider-Man, like the secret identity. He's in an apartment he can't pay for, and she has a secret identity, but she's broke too because being Lady Whistletone, it don't pay the bills, especially because she don't have a check. People can't write her a check. She don't got a real name. Anyway, so I think she has to keep up appearances because she doesn't want to look lesser, you know? She doesn't want to be looked down upon because she wants to get a man, but she can't afford it so far. Anyway, so I think her secret identity. Okay, here's my favorite character again, Queen Charlotte. Maybe because she's a black woman, I don't know, but I'm obsessed with her. I think her secret identity comes from working with the mob boss, aka Queen Char. Ginger can't find work, and there's like flashbacks that happen in the beginning of that. Like this happens in the first episode, I think. So it's like Ginger's getting evicted at her house, and they're throwing her bags and stuff, whatever her landlord is trying to get her thrown out the window, her clothes, and it's raining for some reason. Like in the Hunger Games, where Katniss is trying to get the bread from Peeta. I'm thinking something like that. So she's on the ground, she's like, why God, I'm not your strongest soldier, like, please. So she's crying, and I'm thinking there's an alleyway, right? Queen Charlotte appears, and she has like a little hood on, but you can only see her smirk, you know? She's like, look at this, because she's like a perfect victim, right? And so she comes to her. Oh, Charlotte comes to her, and she's like, I can give you money. You just have to spy on one person, and it's her love interest. It's this guy. Queen Charlotte wants to give her the money because the Bridgerton family has gotten too much clout, and she thinks something is fishy about them, and they're always having these fantastical weddings, and everyone is paying them attention and not her. She's like, I got this whole event plan. I'm literally the queen. Literally the queen. I got this whole event planning business. Everybody be at my balls, pause. And I just don't understand like how I'm the person who no one's like paying attention to. So she's like, I gotta get dirt on these people because they're making me look bad, right? So now we're at this guy, the what's it called? The love interest for Ginger. This guy is Penswell Bridgerton. Again, this is British. This isn't British. I don't know what's going on in there, over there, but I'm thinking Penswell's like a normal name in the 1800s. So they're at one of Queen Charlotte's big balls paws, and Char is like, "Yo, you got to get dirt on him because I'm trying to get some of that Bridgerton clout." She's like, "Yo, you got to come in, go to one of my parties, and you got to be like, you got to spy on him, right? Because I want their clout, and I want you to not only get dirt on them, but I want you to put it in the press as Lady Whistletone, right? So that the public can turn on them." Ginger is all set to the ball as a guest, but no one knows that she's undercover, right? They don't know that she's Peter Parker or Spider-Man. She's on her lurking stuff, and she's going in and out of the crowd, trying to get his attention and making. Okay, this slide is messed up. Okay. So she's lurking around, trying to like piece it together and trying to get some intel on him, right? She's going through the crowd, and mind you, these are like one of the finest bachelor balls, pause. So everyone is trying to get at him, and he's curving all of them because he's like an arrogant guy. I feel like that's his personality. He's arrogant. He don't give a crap about any of them, and she overhears that. She's over here like, oh my God, like he's talking mess about how he doesn't like any lady because they're all stupid and stuff. He's dragging the women who keep coming up to him and stuff. So that's what I'm thinking, right? So she overhears that. She's like, dang, like he don't want nobody. Does that mean he's free? And then, so I'm thinking there's a bunch of desserts, right? Okay, we're setting the scene, right? They're at a ball, and like I'm sure there's platters and trays that the servants are putting out. So she's trying to, they're trying to like weave through the crowd, but there's all these desserts, and they're like, "Please, you want some?" And they're like, she's like, "Nah, bro, I'm at work right now. Chill." And then, so I'm thinking she trips on a waiter who has a big cake, right? Walk with me. So she trips on a waiter, and he falls, and then the cake flies up. It's about to land on her, and then Penswell, he comes over and he covers her, and they both drop to the floor, and he gets cake all over himself, right? But then they have a little stare in their eyes moment, and they're just like, whoa, we're connecting on a different level. So they have like a little meet cute, right? They stare at each other's eyes, right? And then he snaps out of it, and he's like, yo, like, what's going on? And he's like, man, I don't even like these balls no more. And he like he like walks off because he's like, man, I gotta change now. Like, what the heck? I don't even want to be around these dumb women, da da da, right? Because he starts acting all mad, and she's like, yo, what just happened? Like, my heart is fluttering, but also like he's low-key an a-hole, right? So then she shows up to Queen Char's office. Queen Char's like, girl, if you don't get together, you're gonna stay broke and I'll ruin you, right? The Lady Whistletone reputation is in the shitter, right? So the next day, she's walking into town and she's trying to get some food, but she's poor, so she can't come up with the money. I'm thinking like Aladdin, like Prince Jasmine, and how she can't come up with the money because she's sneaking out. He's like, yo, I'ma spot you because I'm how do I say this word? Penswell. I'm Bridgerton, you know what I'm saying? So he gives the seller some money, and then she's like, damn, like that was kind of nice, right? And she thanks him, and then she walks away, and he's like, yo, I just wanted to apologize real quick. Like, I was tripping the other day. I didn't mean any of it. I just hate those parties. And she's like, I'm talking mess about my boss, right? And then she's not trying to blow up the spot, so she's like, all right, good looks, like, and she tries to walk away, right? She's like, all right, I can't be talking to him too much on face to face because I don't want him to know my secret identity. I also don't want him to know that I'm broke because no one knows that right now, right? So we fast forward a couple episodes, right? Or maybe an episode or something. And then she's like, they keep running into each other, right? Because they're soulmates, right? And he's like, man, maybe we should go on a date. And she's like, wait, like, this is perfect because I can get intel on him. But also, like, damn, I need him for real. Like, that's what her thought process is. So they go on a date and they fall for each other. And now it's just a matter of time until she has to tell him. So she goes over to his house. She's meeting his siblings, his mom. And then Penswell walks away at one point. And he talks to his mom, right? And they're talking about how they're having money problems. Like, she's in a different room, so she's overhearing it. And they have money problems and stuff. And she's like, oh my God, jackpot. I just, like, heard the best secret about them. And I can give this to Queen Char, right? So she's like, my mission's over. But she's in love with him. So fast forward, right? So Queen Charlotte's like, where is my gossip? And she's like, if you don't if you don't give me that gossip in 24 hours, I'm going to expose you for everything for all these years of being Lady Whistletone. And because she's like she's threatening her to expose Ginger, right? She's like stuck into between a rock and a hard place because she loves Penswell, right? And she's like, I can't do this anymore, and she leaves. But one of her notes, she got a bag, right? I'm assuming she has like a notepad that she's been keeping because she's a writer, right? I'm assuming she like has notes in her bag, right? So she walks off. She's like, I can't do this anymore. And then Queen Charlotte's like, whatever. And then one of her notes flies out of her bag, right? And it's the note that she made about Bridgerton, the Bridgertons being broke. And Queen Charlotte's like here comes the smirk again, right? So Queen Charlotte's like, I gotta take matters into my own hands, right? So she prints out their business, all their gossip, right? And signs it under Lady Whistletone. Crazy, right? Ginger reads it because it's out in the press. I'm thinking it's like Regina George and how she like she puts all the papers of like the burn book. I'm thinking those are all around town, and she's like seeing that on trees and stuff. And like I'm thinking like even callbacks to the cellar. He's like, yo, can you believe this? And she's like, oh my god, like this is so embarrassing. I can't do this. Ginger reads it, then she has to go to see her man, Penswell, right? So she gets to their house, and it's in shambles, and Penswell is a mess, and she's like, oh my god, I have to confess. And he's like, yo, if I ever find out who did this to me and my family, they're dead to me. They're terrible. I'm gonna hate them forever. And she's like, damn. She tries to back out of it. And she's like, I'm not gonna tell him. But then she looks at him, and they're staring each other in the eyes like they did when they first met, right? And she's like, she has flashbacks to the cake and everything and how he was there for her, right? She has to come clean, so she says it was her. So she's like, I gotta make this right. So like she makes a letter, right, where she writes down her and she reveals her identity, and she's like, all that what I said was BS, and I love Penswell, right? So she's like, I gotta absolve myself of all these secrets. So she tells all her business and then gives it out to the rest of town. Yeah, so Penswell reads it. So I'm thinking Penswell, he's by himself, and he's looking at the paper, and he's like, damn, I love my girl, real talk. So then Queen Charlotte is mad, but then she's like, I'll get my revenge, right? I don't know how she's going to do that. I don't know why she's a villain in my eyes, but I don't know. She's the most interesting character I've written personally. But Penswell and Ginger get back together, and she has like the declaration of love, and then this is happily ever after. She's like a writer and stuff. So I'm assuming she's going to have like a good speech and be like, baby, I love you. It's not even like that, bro. I just need the coin. I just need the buck. And he's like, we're going to figure out this money troubles together. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they're going to live happily ever after. That's what's happening for me. All right. Okay. Season 4. I don't know. But at this time I'm filming this, the second part hasn't even come out. So I'm not even going to try to do it because I know that nobody else has seen it. So yeah, I'm just going to have to, I don't know. I kind of want to watch the show now that I've like made this whole thing to see how I can compare it. But it's going to have to be a different video because season 4, I'm going to let y'all watch that so I can get a little bit of nibbles of what's happening, and then I might make this, but I doubt it, honestly. All right. Thank you for watching that. I was talking really fast because I was really excited. But yeah, like that's what's up. So thank you for watching this all the way through. If you have, please watch the rest of my videos on HaviSpeaks. I put out a really good Ryan Coogler video a couple months ago that no one watched. I have a Substack at HaviSpeaks too that I would really love if you read some of my stuff. On my Substack, I'd write more in-depth things, more political things, more things that aren't as silly as this, for sure. So if you want to watch, or if you want to read, let me know. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Bye!